What's up guys, and welcome to WSM Research. On this channel, we go over some of the hottest high growth and innovative stocks you may want to consider investing in today. Keep in mind that we are not financial advisors and this video is for informational purposes only. Make sure to do your own research before making any investment. The stock that we're going to be talking about today has a very high short interest that actually seems even higher considering two key factors that we're going to talk about later in this video. It just IPO'd last year, but has been around as a company for 35 years and has done exceptionally well in the past year since the pandemic hit. It has benefited tremendously from the low interest rate environment of the past year, as well as the increased amount of liquidity sloshing around in the markets. One of the most impactful effects of the low interest rate environment of the past year in particular is the effect on mortgage originations and mortgage refinancings. Mortgage rates last year hit record lows in 2020, and that translated to substantially stronger demand for mortgages than in 2019. The average interest rate for a standard 30-year fixed-rate mortgage reached as low as 2.85% or even lower, and contributed to 26% more applications to buy homes using mortgages compared to 2019, according to CNBC. While the low interest rates have hurt the commercial banks because their interest income has gone way down, one company that the increased mortgage originations and refinancing has helped is Rocket Mortgage, ticker symbol RKT. Rocket Companies, the parent company of Rocket Mortgage, experienced incredible growth in 2020 and reached $320 billion of mortgage originations in 2020. They had $15.7 billion of total net revenue and were already the largest mortgage provider by number of originations, according to the 2019 Mortgage Market Activity and Trends Report. They even beat out commercial banking giants such as JP Morgan and Wells Fargo. Their revenue last quarter was $2.8 billion, a 277% year-over-year increase. They also have a very strong balance sheet without excessive debt compared to their net equity of $7.9 billion. But possibly the most compelling story behind Rocket Companies today is the fact that short sellers seem to think that rising interest rates in the future will hurt Rocket Companies so much that short interest sits at 43 million shares as of February 12th, according to Barron's. There are currently only 115 million shares outstanding that are not owned by the founder, CEO, and other leadership, meaning that 37% of the float is shorted. 10 to 20 million shares are likely to be owned by institutional investors, including mutual funds, according to FactSet Research, which would imply that more than 40% of the trading float is shorted. Also, last quarter, Rocket Companies announced a brand new share repurchase program that is sized up to $1 billion. Right now, Rocket Companies is trading at around $24 a share, which means that the repurchase program could potentially buy back around 40 million shares, or about 35% of the float at the current price. If that happens, it probably won't be enough for a dramatic short squeeze like GameStop, but it could easily force short sellers to cover. Whenever you have a situation where only 5% of a company is traded on the open markets, some of those shares are owned by institutional investors who won't really sell. There's roughly 40% short interest and a massive share buyback program recently instated. It's a huge liability to anyone who's short the stock. The CEO of Rocket Companies recently went on CNBC talking about the strength of the fourth quarter results at the company. Near the end of the interview, he explicitly warned people not to be short the stock. Take a listen.
Jay, you guys don't have any specific news this morning, and yet your stock right now is up by about 13%. We've talked an awful lot about GameStop and the other companies that have seen Reddit kind of really boost their shares and go after short holders, or the shorts in those stocks that are heavily shorted. You guys had a pretty significant short. I think as of the end of the year, it was 30% or something. Why is your stock up this morning? What do you think about what's been happening with Reddit?
Yeah, it's an interesting week, and as we have come out as a newer company to the public markets, I think there's always going to be a little bit of a tendency for the shorts to show up. But I'll remind everybody, between myself and our founder Dan Gilbert and our leadership team, we own 95% of Rocket Companies because we feel so strongly about our ability to grow. We've been growing for 35 years. We've shown consistent ability to grow and be profitable in any kind of market cycle. And so I think the more we tell our story, the more we explain to folks the platform that we're building, you'll see our stock continue to do the right thing. The other important component, and you just pointed this out, we got a lot of retail investors in our stock. It's one of those stocks that people understand. They get a mortgage. They know the experience. They're familiar with Rocket Companies and Quicken Loans. And so I think what you're seeing is they're participating at a higher rate than some other companies. And I think that bodes well for our stock.
Are you happy to see the retail traders chase out the shorts?
Well, like I mentioned, I feel really strong. I've been here 25 years. I know all the things that we're doing. I understand the power of the platform. I understand the profitability we're able to drive. And so, my advice would be that this is not a stock that you want to be short in. You might want to rethink your position if that's how you're playing it. We've got a great track record and a lot of exciting things we're working on.
Many CEOs do not take a liking to people who are short their stock, and some do anything they can to make the short sellers pay. For example, Lorenzo Goncalves, the CEO of Cleveland Cliffs, had this to say about short sellers of his stock.
You are a disaster. You are an embarrassment to your parents. With this being said, we are going to use money to reward the long-term shareholders. So if the stock continues to go down based on these kids that play with computers and somebody else's money, we are going to buy back stock. We are going to screw these guys so badly that I don't believe that they will be able to only resign. They will have to commit suicide. So we are going to screw these guys so badly that it will be fun to watch. That will be my first priority, other than the two top priorities of finishing HBI and paying down debt. You are messing with the wrong guy.
What do you guys think about rocket companies? Will future interest rate increases hurt the company, or will it continue to perform strongly? Will the share buybacks force the shorts to cover? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. If you like this content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. WSM Research, signing out.